Ever stop to think how language, connects ideas? Sometimes it's not just ABC.
Exactly.
Today we're doing a deep dive into something called cross-serial dependencies. Sounds a bit technical, maybe.
It does sound a bit complex, yeah. But basically, we're looking at these, let's say, unusual grammatical structures.
Okay.
We'll explore how they work, where you find them. Dutch and Swiss German are famous for this. And crucially, why they kind of challenge how we think language works.
So the mission is to unpack this, make it make sense.
Pretty much. Give you a shortcut to understanding this corner of linguistics.
All right, cross-serial dependencies. Let's break it down. What are we really talking about?
Okay, well, imagine you're matching pairs of things, right? Socks, maybe.
Okay, sock.
Usually it's neat. First sock goes with the second, third with the fourth, like nesting boxes.
Nested. Got it.
Cross-serial is different. Think first sock pairs with the last sock, second with the second to last.
Whoa, okay. So they cross over each other.
Exactly. A crisscrossing pattern. That's the core idea.
It's not tidy. A grammatical switcheroo, like you said. And Dutch and Swiss German show this clearly.
Yeah, they're the classic examples. They often pile up verbs at the end of a sentence, right? A verb cluster.
Yeah.
And the subjects, way back at the beginning, have to connect to those verbs. But the connections aren't nested. They cross over any object sitting in the middle.
So the order of the subjects doesn't just map straight onto the order of the verbs they belong to.
Precisely. It crosses.
And that's where it gets interesting, because that really goes against how we usually picture sentence structure, doesn't it? Like building blocks.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
We often think of language in hierarchies, phrases neatly fitting inside other phrases. You draw those tree diagrams in linguistics.
Right.
Well, cross-serial dependencies show that the actual order of words, the linear string, doesn't always reflect that neat hierarchy. The grammatical links can sort of jump across those expected boundaries.
So our standard models, our usual ways of diagramming sentences, they kind of struggle with this.
They definitely do. It pushes the limits. Linguists have wondered if movement, the idea that words maybe start somewhere else and move, can explain it.
But it's not that simple.
Not a straightforward fix, no. The verb cluster itself is key here.
Ah, right. You mentioned the cluster of verbs at the end. Why is that so important?
Well, that cluster isn't just a random pileup. Each verb in there often needs a specific subject or object.
Okay.
And because they're all grouped together at the end, it really highlights these non-nested cross dependencies stretching back through the sentence.
This sounds like it could shake up some really fundamental ideas about grammar itself. Like, can our basic models even handle this?
That's a huge question in the field. There's been a lot of debate about whether standard tools like context-free grammars are actually powerful enough.
Context-free grammars, okay.
Some argue these patterns mean we might need, more complex models to really capture everything human language can do, which is kind of mind-bending.
Yeah, it suggests our first draft of language rules might have been a bit too simple. Possibly, yeah.
So it's not just a weird quirk. It could actually reshape how we think about the structure of language. What about, say, computers trying to understand language? Does this mess things up for AI?
Oh, definitely. Parsing sentences with these crossing links is computationally tough. Algorithms have to track relationships between words that aren't next to each other. It's a challenge.
And how does something like grammatical agreement, like verbs matching subjects, fit in? Does that still work?
Interestingly, yes. Agreement often still reflects the underlying dependency, even if it's crossed.
Ah, okay.
So a verb might change its form to match a subject that's quite far away, and that agreement pattern actually helps reveal the cross-serial link. It's like a clue.
Fascinating. So even with the weird word order, there's still signals showing the connections. Does looking at this tell us anything bigger, like about language universals, things all languages might share?
It definitely raises big questions there. Finding these complex, non-nested structures expands our view of what's possible in human grammar.
It suggests maybe our brains are equipped to handle more intricate grammatical juggling than we might have thought.
So the big takeaway then is cross-serial dependencies show that languages like Dutch, Swiss German, they have these really complex, surprising ways to structure meaning. It's not always neat little boxes.
Exactly. It goes beyond simple nesting. And that has real implications for how we model language, how we understand its deep rules.
It really shows how much intricate stuff can be hidden just beneath the surface of word order.
It does. It deepens your appreciation for just how sophisticated language is.
Absolutely. Thanks for shedding light on this. It really makes you think. Maybe consider, what other complex patterns might be hiding in plain sight in the way we speak every day.